I've got an S tier fun build. If you like fun, this build is for you, especially if you like grenade launchers, wave frame grenade launchers. If you like the Parasite, the worm grenade launcher as well, you'll love this. It's all about stacking different damage bonuses together. Basically, I've got Path of the Burning Steps. I'm also running the Parasite and Explosive Personality with Enhanced Golden Tricorn, Font of Might, all stacking together. Check it out. So this is the build I've got today. It's such a fun build, I promise you. You'll have an absolute blast running it. No pun intended. You're going to cause absolutely crazy damage all of the time. And I want to call this build something weird, so I'm going to call it Feed the Worm. Tickle the Worm, maybe? Feed the Worm? Unleash the Worm? We'll call it Feed the Worm. How about that? Feed the Worm. And I'm revolving it on the bottom tree Sunbreaker, and I like to run this one. It will this build will work on any, but I like the bottom tree just because of sunspots. Passing through a sunspot causes your grenade and melee abilities to recharge faster and your super to last longer. It also increases the damage your weapons deal. The exotic piece I'm running is Path of the Burning Steps. If you didn't know what they did, I'll explain now. They act as a rampage bonus, so you get a ×4 on the bottom left of your screen called Firewalker. And how you get that is getting solar final blows. They periodically grant you an escalating bonus to weapon damage. We're not too bothered about this bit here. You're harder to slow freeze with stasis. It doesn't really matter about that one. It's the top part that we're looking for. Solar final blows periodically grant you an escalating bonus to weapon damage. So that goes all the way up to a ×4. Just want to clarify, the act as like a rampage bonus. So if you get like ×4, you're going to do an absolutely huge amount of damage. It goes all the way up to ×4. The two grenade launchers that I'm running with this build is Explosive Personality with Enhanced Golden Tricorn. So final blows with this weapon grant bonus damage for an improved duration. While this buff is active, grenade or melee final blows of the same damage type greatly increase its damage for an improved duration. So not only is it revolved around Parasite, we're going to do some serious damage with this as well with Enhanced Golden Tricorn, because you're going to get the 50% damage buff from Golden Tricorn, which is also stacking with the Rampage buff, the Firewalker buff from Path of the Burning Steps. So we've got an escalating sort of stacking damage buff with M2, Tricorn and Path of the Burning Steps, the Rampage off that. And then what's happening in between this, I'm using Parasite as my exotic heavy, and this thing is an absolute monster. Trust me, it slaps so hard. So what we're doing in between getting all the kills with our grenades and the Explosive Personality, we're also building a stack up on the Parasite. So how this works is this weapon fires hive worms which explode on impact. The size and the damage of the explosion scales with the number of enemies you defeated just before firing this weapon. So we can get that all the way up to a ×20. We can get that up to a ×4. Put them two together, unleash the worm, and you're going to get a huge, massive damage boost. I mean, I've hit like 500,000 damage on some of the enemies you'll see in the clips. I'm going to show a few clips now, see what you think. This loop of play that I'm doing now is I'm calling this Feeding the Worm. I'm building the stacks on my Parasite, aka Feed the Worm. Getting loads of kills, getting my stack up on my Path of the Burning Steps, Firewalker ×4, and I'm also getting the Parasite stack Worm's Hunger. Quite easily done. And then once I'm at the max possible damage, the ×4 and the Worm's Hunger. Boosh. What do you think about that? 430k damage. A really fun build. I'm going to leave some more clips playing out now. Various different activities, lost sectors, raids, stuff like that. But try the build out. You'll love it. It's really fun. I'll explain the build at the end. I hope you enjoyed them clips. I've had such a good time running this build. I've had some laughs with friends and stuff like that as well. You have a real good time running this build. I even messed this poor Warlock's Nova Bomb up here. Sorry, bro. You'll get it back. Overloads, unstops, anti-barriers, raid bosses. There's nothing really you can't do with this build. If you enjoy running grenade launchers, this is definitely the build for you. And then what I'm going to do at the end of these clips is explain the build, because in the actual clips, I'm not sure if you noticed, but if you did, there's a lot of solar elemental wells on the ground as well. So not only am I getting the Firewalker buff, the Rampage buff from the Path of the Burning Steps, and I'm also stacking the Parasite damage as well, the times 20 Worm's Hunger. On top of all that, I'm getting loads of solar elemental wells to give me Font of Might, which is another 25% extra weapon damage on there. So I'm getting an extra 25% all the time, and that's on top of the Worm and the Explosive Personality Grenade Launcher, also with Golden Tricorn. So it's an absolute monster of a grenade build. I'll leave this last clip playing out and then explain the build. You don't have to listen to my voice, you can skip to the end and just check the dim link out. And this now is like the final piece of the jigsaw, the last little bits of mods I've run. We've already talked about all these and what class we're running. I just want to sort of say as well, if it's cool, just to quickly talk about Golden Tricorn. Final blows with this weapon grant bonus damage for an improved duration while this buff is active. Grenade or melee final blows of the same damage type greatly increase its damage for improved duration. I think you get, on the enhanced version, you get like an extra second or two. I mean, honestly, as well with Golden Tricorn, it is good, you get like 50%, but if you've got the materials and you're thinking of crafting it, I just want to be honest, I think One for All is probably a little bit better for consistency. I found myself personally that Golden Tricorn, it is really strong. Again, I just want to say that it's 50%, but the stuff you have to do to keep it activated all the time, and for what you're using to kill things with, it's not really, for me personally, I think you're better off with One for All or Enhanced One for All. I think that's 30%, so, and I've used Enhanced Ones for All as well just recently, last night, and it seems a lot more consistent than Golden Tricorn. So that's the one I would craft personally. There's nothing wrong with Enhanced Golden Tricorn or Golden Tricorn. I just think for consistency, One for All is your better option. So I just wanted to get that out. Alright, these are the mods I'm running. Double Bomber, Explosive Well Maker, so I create loads of elemental wells from all the explosions I'm making. So every explosion that I'm doing from my grenade launchers, that's going to spawn me a solar elemental well. I'm also running Font of Might, so when I pick that elemental well up, that solar elemental well, that's going to give me a 25% extra damage buff. That's all stacking with the Path of the Burning Steps, which is a rampage buff of times 4. It's all stacking with the Parasite as well, so it all stacks together. The Font of Might stacks with the Path of the Burning Steps. So we've got Explosive Well Maker, Font of Might, we've got Bountiful Wells, so every time I create one well, that's doubling up, so I'm going to get 2 wells for every 1 well that I create. So plenty of wells, plenty of ability regen, plenty of opportunities to get your Font of Might going all the time. I'm running Elemental Time Dilation, that gives me an extra 3 seconds basically for Font of Might. It improves the benefits of all the elemental wells, so in this case it's just extending my Font of Might for an extra 3 seconds, so I get 13 seconds. And the last one is Elemental Ordnance, just defeating a combatant with any of your grenades, spawns an elemental well. That's pretty much it, the rest we've already talked about. I hope you've enjoyed the vid. I'm going to leave a dim link also in the comments, so feedback is appreciated. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more sort of random builds that are fun and stuff like that, and some more technical builds, keep an eye on this sort of channel, subscribe, and again, thumbs up, comments, feedback's always appreciated. Take care.